I thought today.
Anyway, hey everybody, it's time for the role-playing game stream. It's Magicast party Maplebrook. I'm your dungeon master keeper guy, Super Ninja 5506, and I am joined by. This is the part where you introduce yourselves.
Oh really?
Wait,
Wait,
what?
We're doing that now.
I've never done that before.
Do the thing.
We're doing it now.
We're doing that?
We're doing it now.
We're doing it live?
Yes, introduce
I'm
yourself
playing-
and your character.
West Wordsworth, who is a fucking nerd.
Who?
That's his only defining characteristic.
Correct.
West. Who?
The big nerd.
Do I keep going?
No, no. Ideally somebody else would have taken over once you finished speaking, but apparently nobody in this chat knows how fucking social conversations work.
Listen, I only
All right.
heard. Listen, I heard I'm West. Who? And then his audio cut out.
It didn't for me.
Yeah, no, to be fair, I was just waiting for the uncomfortable silence to
I
play
see.
out to see what would happen. Anyways, stop blowing vape clouds, Adva. I am American Josh, sometimes with an underscore, and I'm playing Connor Connor Coldwin Von Helsing.
Okay. I'm Boko. I'm playing Adva Lusitania.
There's no I in there. I
Professional
don't know how to tell you this.
It's silent.
That's okay.
I mean invisible.
Okay. Okay.
You know about the invisible letters, babe?
No, I don't. Anyway, so last
Well-
time on Maplebrook, our heroes went into a shack owned by the groundskeeper. Well, not it's owned by the school, but he lives there. And the groundskeeper there invited them to become monster hunters, essentially, and showed them his cool secret base that was under the shack. Wes got real aggro at Connor, and then Connor shot himself in the foot, both figuratively and literally, with a gun. After all of that drama, some other stuff happened. Connor had an awkward encounter with his sister and her girlfriend at home. West had an awkward encounter with his new roommate, who is a man named Rad Skateson.
I forgot.
And
What's up, Molly guy?
Adva heard something shuffling in the bushes and did not investigate.
I was
So, yeah.
I
all the
also
way
texted
upstairs.
Connor.
And there was also a awkward text
Yeah, you
conversation.
did straight up text him you up.
You
know,
BB.
after everything else that you had done.
I'll throw the conversation in the chat.
okay,
In image
so
form, obviously, so it's not everywhere.
right, okay, so it is the next day. Connor, you wake up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy. No, you wake up in the morning.
I was just gonna say that.
You wake up in the morning to find a new pair of shoes laid out at your bedroom door. They look exactly like the shoes you had just destroyed, except brand new.
Hell yeah. Benson's so good at this.
And Benson
That's
is
why we pay him.
Benson is absolutely
The
incredible.
Benson bucks.
He's
You
just
pay him
the best
exclusively in
fuck.
Benson bucks, his own personal currency.
A new cryptocurrency created to pay one man.
One man.
Question mark?
Anyway,
He
yeah,
refuses to accept payment in anything that is not, in fact, Benson bucks.
None of that is
important.
canon.
Bucks CK or X?
so it's not canon. It doesn't matter. But probably X.
Riot for Benson bucks.
CKX actually.
Okay.
So the rest of your morning is fairly uneventful as you head. I guess, did we say your room was on the second floor? I don't remember. I feel like I did.
I feel like I was picturing on the second floor, so I
Yeah, you come-
thought
you-
of that independently, or we decided it.
Right. So yeah, you come downstairs to the kitchen where Lizzie is enjoying some eggs with blood on them.
I don't entirely like that we just treat this shit like ketchup.
I mean,
Like
like,
here we are.
I mean, like, so here's a question, I guess, for you. Like, does Connor prefer just blood, or does he like to have blood on things?
Well, I mean, he mostly gets his blood from his jorts moves,
Which are just fucking unfiltered
Unfiltered.
blood concentrate, essentially.
Yeah.
So like yeah, because
Yeah,
like
I mean,
the canon I've been working with essentially is that like blood is your sustenance. You need that to not die, but like you can eat other stuff because it has flavor.
Yeah.
So like I guess just is Connor a lame-o who only drinks he takes his blood pure, or does he like to mix it up?
I mean, he's not inherently very adventurous. But
That's
he's
fair.
Bloody Mary.
That's fair.
He's not opposed to it, I guess. He's just one of those people who like he has to be kind of told to vary his diet.
I see. So I guess Benson just like left a glass of blood on the table for you. He's off doing something else in the house right now, like laundry or something, and Lizzie's just sitting there in the kitchen, eating egg with blood.
Eating egg.
Egg now with blood.
Bloody egg.
Ugh.
Vampire
Blood
dishes
egg.
have bloody in the name. What are vampires' opinions on Bloody Marys?
Oh, they're the best.
They invented Bloody Marys, didn't they?
I don't know. I'm not ready to commit to that.
I don't know
I'm
enough
not
about
ready.
Bloody Marys to make any other statements.
Well, they're actually made out of tomatoes, if you're wondering.
They are. I know this.
I mean, that's unfortunate.
Are you gonna do anything or?
Oh shit! The ball's in my court. isn't it?
It is.
You live here.
It's your house. Fucking West isn't going to do something right now. That'd be wild.
What if he texts you right now?
West breaks into my goddamn home and starts threatening my family.
Hey Connor, can
Who
I have
aren't
some
there?
bloody eggs?
Oh yeah, you're. Lizzie. So Lizzie like turns to you when you come down into the kitchen, and she's like, "Hey, Mom and Dad still aren't back."
I'm gonna do an exaggerated like what face? Like what? Oh my
Oh my
god! What
She-
a shock!
she laughs and goes, "Yeah, I know." And she then
Also,
she
don't decapitate me with books, please.
yeah, I was listen, I'm sorry about that. You just surprised me. You said you were going to be out late, and then I guess you were, and I lost track of time. Sorry.
We shoot her finger guns.
Cool.
At
She
her foot.
she rolls her eyes, but she's smiling. So yeah, I guess just
Sweet blood
you
juice.
just fucking drink your. Do you slam it?
I slam the blood juice. Absolutely.
You just fucking shotgun that shit.
Like really exaggerated.
Yeah, so you do that. Benson walks into the kitchen and he's like, your car's waiting outside, and then quickly like does like a quick jog to the front door because he's the one that drives the car. And yeah. So as you are leaving the front door, you happen to glance off to the right where like in the direction of the like living room, and that side of the house is where Lizzie's room is. And you do see Laura crawling out the window.
Like just there, huh?
She's crawling out the window onto the ground because her room is on the first floor. So she just like hops
I
out
see.
into the bushes, and you see her like run off in the direction of the hiking trail that's behind your house, as well as like the woods.
Bye,
So-
Laura.
She like flinches as you call out, and like turns around and gives you an awkward wave, and then takes back off into the woods.
Am I still in the same room as Lizzie?
She walked a little bit ahead of you as this is as you're both like coming outside, like you just left the front door basically. So you're walking
Okay.
down your opulent driveway towards the iron gates.
I'm going to plaster a shit-eating grin on my face first of all, and then just stare at Lizzie.
She
And then look back towards the woods, and then stare at her again, and then look back towards the woods.
She like blushes and says, "Shut up," and then like kicks the gate open, which with her vampire strength, it kicks out real hard.
Benson pulls hinges out of his pocket and replaces them immediately.
It creaks a little bit as if it maybe was about to go too far, and these are like heavy iron gates. Your sister is incredibly strong. Yeah, so Benson takes you guys to the bus stop, and that's pretty much the rest of your morning until some other stuff happens.
You're a fool if you think the shitty grin leaves my face anytime soon.
Yeah, so Benson...
I'm going to continue to say nothing. I'm just going to have the shitty grin and like once in a while raise my eyebrows.
She's purposely avoiding your gaze by any means necessary.
It's okay, we both know.
Face very deep in phone. Adva, meanwhile, at the college...
Text her you up.
You don't have her number.
All right, time to find out if I can kill West. I'm gonna say yes.
No, I'm just...
Are you physically capable? For sure.
Yeah.
He has the advantage of being able to use his weapons on me.
That's true.
But I'm also a vampire.
I also have weapons that are good against vampires, oddly enough.
Yeah,
well,
there's that.
I'm also just gonna have to beat the shit out of you with my fists.
Oh no.
So anyway, Adva, on the other side of town, and kind of like a lot before this, you get up for swim practice because you said that you had swim practice today on one of the previous episodes, and I didn't forget. So you get up early and you ride on the bus with all the other girls who are taking the bus into town to go to the YMCA.
YMCA.
To swim at their pool, because that's where the swim team practices.
That's the pool.
Yep. So you're
have a pool.
You're going
Right,
through.
no,
hold on. Does kind of. Okay, vampires aren't allergic to raw water. It's like there's a bridge you have to cross daily to get to the college.
No, I mean, so like the vampire lore I'm used to is that just like
they don't like
covering
running water, but a swimming pool is not running water.
Well, what if you have one of those circulator things?
None of this is relevant. Although,
No,
does
not.
Connor have a pool?
Sure.
Okay, Connor has a pool now. It appears in your yard.
Connor has 50% of the pools in Maplebrook.
And you're pretty sure you didn't have a pool, but now you do. Weird. It's probably not in use right now because it's like fall.
Fair.
Yeah. It's
Fall in the north. Yeah, so a little bit into your swimming practice, the coach blows a whistle and calls you all over to one side of the pool and tells you to get out for a minute. She's like, all right, we're preparing for our meet coming up next month, and I think it's time that we try to see where some people stand around here. So we're going to have some one-on-one races here in the pool. I have my list of swim team people and forgot all of their names instantly.
There's at least
Stacy.
There are, I believe, I put one Stacy on the swim team.
Well, you see, there are two Stacys. There's Stacy
There has
with
to be
a
one
Y,
Stacy
Stacy
in
with
the
an E.
dark
There are many Stacys, but only one on the swim team. So she calls out, Cherry, Kelly, get in the pool. You're up first, and they go over to the swim block. You know, the blocks that you dive off of. Yeah. I don't know that much about swimming, and this will become apparent.
To be honest, most places don't actually have those.
Well, they do at the YMCA.
I'm just saying, my swim team pool did not have them.
Well, the YMCA does. So they both get into perfect swimming form, and Coach Hawkins, which is her name. Your coach's name is Coach Carla Hawkins, and that's her name.
I see.
Coach Hawkins says, ready, and they both lower themselves into pre-dive position, and then she fires the gun that she's carrying. No, she blows the whistle that she has. I thought about that, and that it's indoors and also at a public pool, and then thought better of it, and so she blows a whistle.
That gun is for track meets.
That's oh yeah, that true. So yeah, she fires the whistle with her mouth. She blows the whistle, is what I'm saying. And they have a race, and this happens a few more times. She calls other people into the pool, and finally it is you. So, how good is Adva at swimming?
I think she's pretty okay.
I had you
Yeah,
as
above average.
I didn't actually ask you about this, but I had you as like number 2 on the team, and like if that's something
Sure.
you're comfortable with.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, so you're like so she puts you against number 1, which is Stacy.
Of course.
We all knew it.
Yeah, it is you. She says, Lusitana, Meyer, up on the block. So
There's no
presumably you get up on the
Yes,
block,
I get up on the
so
swim
ground.
the swim block.
Swimmerman.
The what?
The swim pyramid. The swimmerman.
No,
Now that can't possibly be it.
it isn't. This is another one of the classic trademarked bad Boko alliteration bullshit. Portmanteau. That's the word I'm looking
not
for.
alliteration. It's a portmanteau.
A bad one. So yeah, yeah. So as she blows the whistle, I would like you to roll act under pressure.
Act under pressure. Pushing down on me.
Josh has cheered 1 bit.
And act under pressure
yeah.
is.
I believe cool, but I don't know for sure. You should have a macro
cool.
for it.
Yeah, I just clicked on cool because I don't see an act under pressure thing on here.
I should
I'll
really have
assume
the
it's
guide
cool.
open, huh?
It's
Maybe.
cool.
I'm
I have
pretty
the
sure.
guide open. It's cool.
Ah, thank you, Josh.
No forwards. That's a 10.
Alright, that's a 10. That would be a perfect success. So on a 10 for act under pressure, I think you just do exactly what you set out to do. But I don't have the thing open yet, so I'm going to stall for time for a second.
On 10 plus, you do what you have to do.
Okay, that's just all it
What you
says?
set out to do.
Radical.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
12 plus is when you get to do something extra or absolute perfection.
cool. So how good do you swim?
I think I swim pretty good.
Would you like to give
God,
me
I
any
would like-
sort of as the only
I would-
person in this call who was on a swim team, would you like to give me any descriptors of how your swimming goes?
I would like to think we stay pretty close, and I pull ahead at the ending. And
At the very last second, you touch the wall and you come up for air just like a split second before Stacy does, and some of the other girls on the sidelines applaud. Some of them just kind of like roll their eyes. And as Stacy comes up for air and she's trying to catch her breath, she says, "Wow, looks like you've been getting a lot better, Adva. Good job. I'm so proud of you."
oh boy.
Is that all you say?
Yep.
No, I come up and it's like,
Uh-huh.
she's like,
GG.
Yeah.
gee, I was thinking, gee,
Hey, great job. Yeah.
good race. I punched her shoulder. I guess that type of thing.
Aw. Yeah, you do that, and she goes, "Oh, stop it!" And she like smacks
Good
you on the
sports
back.
game.
Sports.
Now you have to hit her again.
Now you have to punch her in the face. No.
Adva
Yeah.
pops her knuckles and reaches for her paperclip.
Oh no.
Where's that swimming?
It's a good luck charm.
That seems
Think
highly
it-
unlikely.
It seems like they probably
How are
wouldn't
you
let
not
you do
bullied?
that.
No, they probably wouldn't. Usually they don't let people wear accessories because people
How are you
will
not
lose
more
them.
bullied?
So after the races, Coach Austin sends all the girls off to the showers. You all head into the locker room to get all of the chlorine stank off of you, although that never really
No,
works.
chlorine smells amazing. I will not.
Based on my experience with every pool ever, you're going to feel like chlorine the rest of the day no matter what you do.
Awesome.
Pushing down on me.
So yeah, as you do that, you can overhear from the other, I don't know how many shower rooms you've been in since you didn't go to a public school. So
think
the one,
I've seen
Josh,
it. I was on
Josh, I'm
Skeptics.
literally imagining our shower room where it's like 4 different like squares of showers that have like a
Oh,
single.
you mean the worst?
Yeah, it's like 4 different squares of showers which all have like a pole in the middle with 6 showers on them, and they're like 4 interconnected rooms that then connect to the locker room on one side. It's real rough. I've never been to a YMCA, so I couldn't tell you if that's what the YMCA showers look like, but that's what this one looks like. So from one of the other rooms on like the opposite corner, you hear some of the girls saying things to the effect of, "Ugh, why does Coach Hawkins like them so much?" Ugh. And then you hear another one go like, "Stacy sucks. Jesus, ugh, so bad at swimming." You hear that kind of banter where like 2 or 3 girls are just talking mad shit about you and Stacy. And you actually glance over and you can see Stacy, and she like definitely also hears that, and she's not feeling super great about it from what you can tell.
So who's not? Stacy's not feeling super great about how she did or what she heard.
About what she heard, you would assume. She in fact like quickly like cuts off her, like turns off her shower and quickly like walks into the locker room to change.
Okay. I guess I finish my shower, but I purposely make like loud noises outside of wherever they are, or when I'm walking past them.
They all give you the 2 girls. So there's hold on, 2. Yes, 2. I'm double checking my notes so I know how many bullies there are. Yeah, the 2 girls that you walk past.
Number.
Yes. The 2 girls that you walk past are Erica and Cherry, and they both give you like mad stink eye as you walk past and give them the glare. So by the time you get to your locker and like get changed, like Stacy's already long gone.
Okay.
So yeah, as you all like leave the building, you know, bring your bags and stuff with you. The bus pulls up. And yeah, you can get on the bus and make your way back up to the campus. If you would like. Or you could walk to school.
I need to go to school.
Adva skips school and misses the
Famous
entire
sports star.
Misses whatever the fucking rest of the plot is this episode. This Adva does not participate in it. No. So yeah, you get on the bus, and most of the other girls sit up towards the front, and also Connor's on this bus because this is the bus that picks him up in the morning also. So we've had a little bit of time fuckery, but now the timelines have aligned.
The timelines have reconverged.
Yeah, so Connor's on the bus, presumably sitting as far away from all of the swim team girls that just got on as possible.
How did you know?
I assumed.
Now, this begs a question. Well, I mean, you've probably already said it. But
there's like 1 or 2 other
Gosh.
kids on the bus besides the swim team, but like most
Is Connor the kid that sits in the first row of school bus or sits in the very back?
First row.
So yeah, okay. I guess all of the other girls go to sit in the back
And
then
that's
because
where I
they.
Because no one sits in the first row.
That's
Yeah,
where
so
I sat because
literally,
I was
as soon as you get on the bus and flash your bus pass to the disgruntled bus driver, you take 1 step past the bus driver and Connor's just there.
I give him the side eye and I sit down behind him.
I shoot her the finger guns.
Connor's just in a finger guns mood today.
Wait, is this why his weapon is a gun? Because he just finger guns all the time.
It's his image of cool.
Perhaps.
He's acknowledging. It's either that or you're getting an exaggerated wink. Those are your only 2 options right now.
You will take the finger guns, I assume.
Yeah.
So as you sit down, as you begin to sit down, the bus takes off because the bus driver doesn't wait for people to get in their seats because he's a fucking clown. And the bus begins to make its way up.
Circus.
Yeah, the bus begins to make its way up the hill towards Maplebrook University. Do you have anything specific you would like to do in this scene, or can I skip to West?
Not really.
Well,
I just like throw down my bag. in the seat in like that, like because like this is just like a good old school bus. Two people can fit in this one couch seat thing.
Yeah, it's actually public transport, but it's basically just a remodeled school bus.
Yes.
Connor finished his.
I'm doing the don't sit next to me social signaling by making my bag take up the other seat.
I see.
Connor finished his daily quests, so he is currently reading Wikipedia articles of random superhero comics.
I was about to say,
that sounds
just
about
probably
right.
Just hit the random article button and read it, and then hit it again.
No, normally he starts with a topic and then he clicks links.
Alright, so that's happening.
Currently he's reading about Rune King 4.
Neat.
No, I don't really do much else. I throw down my bag and check my telephone.
Okay.
Which is weird,
actually,
not many people have my number.
so yeah, as you actually said, that's actually a good question. Does Connor, do you guys have each other's number? Because I know Weston. I know Weston and Connor do. Did Adva bother giving her number to either of the other hunters?
I don't remember if I did. We
now is the
go
time
over
to
this?
decide that.
Yeah, that's on you, Boko.
I thought
I
we
feel
talked about
like
it last
I feel
week.
like Connor and West would have like looked at her while exchanging numbers,
Yeah,
and
so
then it would have
brief
been up
flashback.
to to decide whether or not to give
Yeah,
her
so it's
number.
up to you in this moment whether you do.
I will say I vaguely I think I remember us talking about this, but it's been 2 weekends.
Right.
Yeah, but
So-
you get to make it up.
You can just
right now.
make it
Yeah,
up right
here
now.
and
I
now.
can retcon, baby.
Yeah, I'm going to say that I did participate in the number of texts.
Okay.
Cool.
I didn't text you up because I knew I would die.
Because I would kill you.
Because she lives in the same building, you two.
Yeah.
Well,
Can
technically,
I,
she lives across the
can
sky
I-
bridge. Oh,
Can I send 2 of the finger guns emojis?
you can.
It's
You've d-
useless.
you've
to
done
me,
it.
At least.
You've done
No,
it.
not to you.
It's done.
Okay, good.
To Adva, because she shirked my in real life finger guns.
I see the little text message pop up. I reply with a shield emoji.
Nice.
Harsh.
Frowny face.
So, Wes, you wake up in the morning to find Rad is already gone. Although you can hear the sound of skateboarding outside.
Ugh.
Is this outside in the hall or outside the building?
Outside the building, like in the plaza.
Okay.
I just imagining the sounds of Tony Hawk Pro Skater,
Yeah, there's ska
complete
playing.
with soundtrack.
There's ska
I hear
blasting
the
from a
faint
no.
sounds of
There is
snap
there is
sounds.
absolutely ska playing on a portable speaker out in the fucking plaza right now.
At long last, we can finally hear Goldfinger again.
Purgatory.
He's doing everything he can, feeling like he's a Superman. Yeah. So, what do you do? What does
mean-
Wes's new morning routine look like?
I forget what. Hang on. He gets out of bed.
Yep. Hearing
Okay,
Superman playing.
Where's like the showers and shit?
I think
Does
there
each
is.
room have its own?
No, unfortunately not, because it's dorms.
Ugh.
There's like a shower room at the end of the hall, basically.
All right. So I mean, he's just gonna, shower, get all
Not
clean.
shower, because no, yeah, you don't meet anybody else in the shower. You get ready for anything. Do you just like pop some food from a vending machine or something?
That sounds like a quick and easy West thing to do. Yeah, that sounds about right. Probably like a granola.
It costs you
bar.
$800. No, yeah.
No, it
So you,
doesn't. No, it
you
goddamn doesn't.
yeah, of course not. That'd be crazy. Yeah, so as you go outside, you see Rad doing some cool stunts, like grinding off some of the benches and doing kickflips off the fountain.
Oh, he also gathered all his stuff. By the
Yeah.
way, if we're this far,
I assume,
it's
yes.
obvious, but
I assume, yeah, you have your, school supplies.
Yeah.
So as you look around, there's like a couple of other students up. There's a couple of girls doing some like light jogging around the fountain, which you're wondering why they're not using Revelry Lane, and you turn and see that there is a campus security guard blocking off the path to Revelry Lane. which is the
That's the
which,
hiking trail, right?
if you recall, that's the like I want to call it like a botanical garden type thing where it's got like lots of plants and stuff, and like a lot of students use it for like a light jog. It connects to the hiking trail, but it looks like the actual like lane. It goes in like a circle past the dorms, and it looks like it's closed off right now.
Gotcha. Does the security guard man look super imposing or like approachable?
I mean, you can approach anyone who you want to, my dude.
Yeah, I know. I just didn't know if he'd be like, "Fuck off."
He might be. You won't know until you approach him.
Yeah, fuck it. I'll approach him.
Whoa there, buddy. Can't let you go on this here revelry lane. It's closed off right now.
Oh my god, it's Parmesan.
Parmesan's finally been reincarnated.
He's not dead. But I'm not going down the trail. I was just kind of curious what happened.
Oh, I'm not really supposed to talk about it, but old John's a I live for the gossip is what I do. So listen, there's those two girls that went missing the other day. We got people out there looking for them right now. So until we figure out what happened, the path past here is closed off.
I see.
Yeah, nobody gets in, nobody gets out. Well, hopefully some people get out eventually.
Nobody gets. We keep them in there, trapped forever,
until they starve to death.
They're not coming back out.
No, so yeah,
I hope that's not...
you basically need a permission slip from Miss Gabriel herself to get in there.
Yeah, we're supposed to talk.
I see. Well, good luck and have fun.
Oh, you too, bud. Gee, I appreciate it.
And I hope they find them and everything, and that they're okay.
Oh, don't worry. Campus security here at MU is the best in the business. He winks at you.
Yeah.
Northern Michigan.
He winks at you cryptically. You have absolutely no idea what that could mean.
Does this fool know? Is he in on the stuff?
You have no idea.
I just kind of share a weirded out look with him, and then I turn around.
He waves at you in a very friendly manner. Yeah, so as you turn around, you actually see the bus pull up to the dorms, and a bunch of the swim team girls get off the bus. So if you remember the layout, the campus is actually like a little ways away from the main, from the dorms. So the bus stops here to drop off and pick up kids, and the bus has stopped here, and a couple of girls from the swim team get off and are yawning as they make their way towards the student dorms. And
We have a question in chat about what's going on.
What?
Oh, we're playing a game here called Monster of the Week. This is our third one that we've done. I'm stuck in the Wisconsin accent. I'm stuck in the Wisconsin accent.
Babe, your accent's coming through.
Yeah, it's just I can't stop now that I've done it.
It's really fun once you start getting into it, and you're just like, oh gosh.
Oh darn. Yeah, so the security guard waves you off. You turn around, the bus is coming. Some girls get off. Rad kick flips off of the fountain in the middle of the square and picks up his board and walks onto the bus.
I hope.
Nope, he does not.
Make Rad. Make him roll really right goddamn now.
I was really hoping
it's Rad rolled a 30 for cool. It's weird.
Holy shit, that was so cool.
Yeah.
Man.
You rolled a 30 on 2d6?
Yeah, it's crazy. His bonuses are wild.
This boy.
Thanks to the stats, even West is a little impressed.
Yeah, so yeah, Rad gets on the bus. A couple other kids get on the bus. Do you get on the bus, or are you walking uphill?
So like, do Adva and Connor get off the bus at all, or like what?
No.
They could hypothetically. Yeah, some of them.
I'm not.
Presumably ones that don't have morning classes.
Okay, so I got on the bus then.
Okay, you get on the bus, and immediately after you pass the gruff-looking bus driver, you see Connor sitting in one seat, and Adva sitting in the seat immediately behind him.
I see Adva's sign of
Rad sitting in the seat immediately behind her.
It's all you cocked us from the three protagonists in a row. I hate it.
I'll sit by Connor.
That's bold.
You've broken
Is
the
it?
unspoken agreement. There are open seats. You must sit in them.
Rad takes out a tech deck and he's playing with that.
Oh hell yeah!
So
I love Rad.
Rad is not a.
You do have to remember, Swissy, the last interaction you had with Connor was texting him "you up."
Among other things that followed that, okay?
Wes sits down and whispers.
Connor is just
You
a
up.
little bit wary of you. All right.
Why? It was resolved in the
What
text
do you
conversation
mean,
that it
why?
wasn't that kind of you up.
He's not like massively wary. He's just like a little at. Like,
Oh, yeah, because of the I guess
He's
it.
just a
I thought
little,
you meant
like-
because of the text.
he's just
It
a
didn't
little bit
help.
like, This is this.
This is life.
You know that.
Say la vie.
That is his emotions.
Wes just shares a quick good morning, and then looks forward, I guess.
Stares straight ahead at the wall between
Good
you
morning.
and the bus driver.
Directly ahead. Holy
I was gonna
shit.
say looks at his journal, but he wouldn't want that open next to him.
Connor is freaked the fuck out. that is what happened, and he's
No, he's
gonna
just kinda
mumble,
like-
he's gonna mumble "good morning" as he goes back to his phone
No,
quickly.
no. It's not like a staring ahead, like oh, good morning. It's more like like just a loss of
Wes
it's
doesn't
an
know where to
awkward
look.
stare. Yeah, he's just like twiddling his thumbs, kind of.
Just looking down
Okay,
at the
what-
ground dejectedly.
What I said
regret
about
sitting
Connor
here.
still mostly stands. He's gonna mumble "good morning" back and stare at his phone.
Valid.
Do you say that, or is that just something you said?
No, that is no. See,
I also I guess I should mention things. So they have Revelry Lane blocked off. God, fuck, can't talk. They have Revelry Lane blocked off while they're searching for those girls right now. So it looks like they're doing something about that.
Yeah, but is it gonna be helpful?
It's hard to say.
Do
That one
do
guy
they?
was the only hunter left.
Yeah. So I don't. We really should probably meet with the. Was it principal or headmistress?
Headmistress.
Or
Headmistress?
master,
Okay. We should probably check with her on who knows what.
I agree because we'll need a permission slip from her if we want to go that way again.
Wait, really?
Yeah, that's what
Like a physical?
that's what the guy told me.
let's get physical.
Huh.
Wait, I don't know how that song goes.
Let's get
Nice.
physical.
Physical.
Is this happening around me? Is this something that's actually happening?
No.
I feel like physical is coming from Rad's phone.
Rad is just Rad is listening to Let's Get Physical while tech decking off of the seat behind him.
You know what? Connor's gonna mention it.
He's
Connor's
also
gonna be like, "Do you
he's
see
also
this guy?
making skateboard noises with his mouth, like.
Do you see this guy pulling these sweet tech deck tricks?
No, I've never met him in my life.
Hey West, I didn't see you get on the bus, dude.
West looks forward.
Yeah. Hey, Wes, you didn't tell me you knew this guy.
Yeah, so
Wes-
he's
Unfortunately.
my name is Rad. I'm this dude is my roommate. We're totes roomies now and best friends, probably, I think.
Remember that shit-eating grin from earlier?
it returns with a vengeance.
It returns.
West just kind of sighs.
Well,
Yeah, he's my
that's
roommate.
great to hear, Rad. I know West is gonna just have a grand time.
Yeah,
I'm
me too.
Connor, by the way.
Me too. Oh, dude, it's
Hey,
nice
Rad,
to
I hear
meet
the
you.
forest is a great place to skate this time of year.
I don't think that's true, dude. There's not a lot of smooth ground to roll on. It's not good for the wheels, man.
Blame me for
You gotta,
trying, I say to Connor.
you gotta respect your board, dude. And he goes on as the bus goes up the hill. He goes on like a 5-minute rant about respecting your board.
Connor's gonna nod sagely the entire time.
This conversation is happening, like, Adva's caught in the middle of this conversation also. It's just happening past you.
She reaches into her bag and pulls out headphones. She doesn't plug them into her phone, but she puts them in her ears anyway.
Oh, I've been there. I love eavesdropping on buses with headphones that aren't plugged in.
Yeah, so as you pull up to the school, the bus comes to a stop. The bus driver gets off, then has himself a little illicit smoke break. The rest of the kids get off the bus. Rad throws down his skateboard in the center aisle of the bus and skates off the bus, doing a sick kickflip down all the stairs.
Think about that turn, that right angle turn Rad's gonna do in front of us.
It's gonna be the next Tony Hawk, honestly.
Yeah, so Rad does some real cool stunts and gets off the bus, and now it's just you three on the bus.
Is he actually 50-year-old Tony Hawk?
No.
West, I can't believe your roommate is the coolest person I've ever met in my entire life.
If only that were true.
End of conversation,
also,
I guess.
Off the bus. It goes
Yeah.
without saying.
Does it? Because I was waiting for you to say I get off the bus.
I mean, yeah, I get off the bus, I guess.
I have to wait till West is getting off the bus because he is blocking me from the aisle.
That's true.
I didn't...
So I'm gonna get off when he does.
Yep. And now everybody is off the bus, I assume, unless Adva's just having a bus party again.
You wait for both of them to leave, and then I leave afterward.
Why?
Oh.
Alright, so...
Unfortunately for her, I'm standing at the exit of the bus,
Oh.
waiting for her to get off the bus.
Listen, I just you know how like the bus line
Bamboozled.
works. You stand up.
Yep.
You get
the
off
other
the
people
goddamn
are-
bus. It doesn't matter. Let's
So
go.
you're all off the bus, and the story continues.
Yes.
you all have your like morning classes, and later that day there's like a announcement on the announcements that the Pokestop is taken again, Josh, just so you know, or the gym.
God fucking damn it!
Somewhere else, West Dad fist pumps. Yes.
Now I have to take it back.
Yeah, so later that day, there's a announcement on the overhead calling all three of you to the office, the headmistress's office, which is
Are we
towards
by
like
each other
the
at that time?
towards the sensor. Yeah, you're it's a college. You all have like separate classes, but yeah, you all
Yeah.
make your way
It's
there,
possible some
and
cartoon
you're in
it's over.
front.
Bonnie has been discovered. I
You're
hope
in-
not, Molokai.
You're all in front of a large wooden set of doors that have... I didn't think about this when I started. It's one door. It is large, and it has a nameplate on it that says Gabriel. And above that is a
You think
second
this is
plate
her?
that says headmaster's office.
No one's answered my rhetorical question.
What's that?
I'm gonna knock on the door.
Is that a rhetorical question? That
Come
seems
in.
Like a statement.
I'm gonna open the door.
You open the door, you get on the floor, and everybody walks the dinosaur. No. You do enter the door, and you're impressed. So this is the what am I trying to say? The headmaster's office is on the campus. There's like a big like tower, like a bell tower, kind of in the middle of it. And the headmistress's office, you realize, is like basically right smack dab in the center of that. So as you go in, you notice this room is tall as hell, and also fairly big. There are bookshelves on most of the walls. There's a large ornate wooden desk at one end, with a chair behind it. Standing off to one side, you see... Let me scroll back up in my notes to get to the right person. You see a very tall blonde woman going through some books off to one side on one of the bookshelves. This room is also very well lit. There's windows basically on every side of the tower. So yeah, it's very bright and inviting in here. There's a nice rug, and there are a few chairs across from the desk as well. As you enter, who you presume to be the headmistress turns to you and says, "Ah, welcome. Please shut the door behind you, Mr. Caldwin." After the other two come in, after the other two
As
come
he
in,
shuts it, I walk directly into it and have it shut in my face.
I assumed you knew that I meant once the other two were in the. You can
Okay,
both.
that doesn't happen.
Mr.
That makes a lot more
Words.
sense. I open the door back.
Mr. Wordsworth, Miss
I adjust my
Lusitana, you
glasses.
can also come in.
I adjust my glasses, which have been knocked askew, and I walk in.
Please make yourselves at home. Have
I
a
close
seat.
the door again after everyone's been
I
in the
assume
room.
there are no chairs here.
There are 3 chairs.
You just said
I
there were
just
chairs.
I just said there were 3 chairs across from the desk. So
I
she
was
goes.
thinking about how Les totally got a door to the face.
So as she
Okay.
as she sits down behind the large wooden desk and tense her fingers and leans forward on her elbows and says, "So, what can I do for the 3 of you today? I assume you have I'm sure you have some questions. The groundskeeper Nigel has already told me about the sort of agreement you've come to with regards to the Hunter situation. I'm just here if you need any help or have any questions. I thought you might want to know some things, probably."
Did my dad ever tell you about my sister?
Not that I recall. He has mentioned having a daughter, of course, but to my knowledge, she went missing some time ago. I haven't seen anything about her.
I'm like wide-eyed at this plot.
I
I'm gonna try to make eye contact with Adva as West is talking about this.
She
There's
does like
a,
the Jedi thing. Her cold eye.
there's something of hers I have that leads me to kind of think that maybe this town might be involved with that disappearance.
I could certainly look into it. Do you mind if I take a look?
No, of course not. He passes over the journal.
Of course. I'll have a look at this a bit later. Anybody else have any questions for me about anything at all? Of course, I do know about your organization, but I am also the headmistress of this establishment, so if you have any, class-based concerns, I can help with that as well. Although I assume you are more interested in the supernatural stuff, given the sort of history between 2 of you. Of course, Mr. Caldwin, you know all about the goings-on in the town, but presumably Miss Lusitana and Mr. Wordsworth do not know so much.
Yeah, I'm a little bit out of the loop.
I'm just gonna let them talk.
Well, let me start. I will give you a brief history of the of how Maplebrooke came to be, and the sort of history of our people. So, there was a time in the past where, and it embarrasses me to say, our people were at war. The vampires, werewolves, and angels had a long history of bloody conflict here on Earth, and in some parts of the world they still do, but there were some of us who were able to come to an agreement here in the what is now known as the great state of Minnesota. The vampire Dracula von Helsing, the werewolf Sirius Lupin, and the angel Fay Gabriel, and as well as the human Ace Hagriff, and a couple of members of each faction, myself included, came together to broker a peace between our people. Maplebrook was founded as a safe haven for supernatural beings who wanted to live normal lives, and as a symbol of the alliance between our people. We agreed to share resources and knowledge to peacefully coexist and not to interfere with or spark violence between our people. Of course, within that framework, there were still beings who wished to cause harm to the various factions, and due to the contract we made, we could not interfere even to help them necessarily with that, because it could put our own faction it's a whole mess of politics. But we decided to sort of outsource our problems, if that makes sense. And so the hunters were born as a necessary precaution against any who would wish to do us harm. As part of our contract, we may not bring harm to one another, but hunters are a separate organization outside the contract, so if a vampire begins attacking humans, or if a werewolf goes berserk, the hunt... Yes?
Does me being here violate that?
No, of course not. You're not... There are... The hunters are sort of their own thing. It sort of overrides the whole, like, you're not one of the heads of the faction, so you don't have to, you're kind of in a...
I see, I'm not...
You're not in,
I'm
like...
not in a decision-maker's role, so there's no independence issue.
Yes, you of course have independent free will. So, yeah, the hunters never, so if the vampires or werewolves start going crazy, the hunters interfere to protect the secret from our existence from getting out, and to prevent harm from coming to the innocent. Never numbering many, the hunters are an organization that no faction has direct control over, and who can operate outside the bounds of those groups. Unfortunately, the last generation of hunters is all but gone. Nigel is the only one remaining from the previous generation, and so it is now sort of up to the three of you. And she looks each one of you in the eyes as she says your names. Adva Lusitania, West Wordsworth, Connor Caldwin. Will you, and this is just sort of a formality from me, will you take up the mantle and protect your fellow man and creatures who wish only to live in peace?
Yeah.
I should say sure.
Cool. Little bit non-committal from one of you, but I'll take it. So, kind of rule number one of the hunters, and I'm not directly in charge of them. I'm sort of like your... I'm sort of your property manager, because you are based on campus, but I can't exert any specific control over you, given the nature of the agreement. But there are a few things you should know. You should do everything in your power to keep ordinary folks from finding out the secrets of the three factions and the hunters and all of that mess. From people who don't already know.
I pointedly stare at West.
I purposefully avoid cars.
Most of the townsfolk do not know. There are a few that do, but we like to keep things chill here. Should there ever be an issue where somebody sees something they should not have, we do have methods of dealing with that, although they are imperfect, so we prefer to use that as sort of a last resort.
Like harmful methods?
Oh no, we just erase some of their memory.
Sock full of sand, dab of whiskey on the lips.
I involuntarily tisk my lips at that.
I see some...
Connor just says, like Men in Black?
I knew it!
It is not dissimilar to Men in Black, although more magical than scientific. I'm a headmaster at a learning organization. It is more magical than scientific. And it is, as I said, it is also imperfect. If there is some sort of event that triggers the memories to return, it's a whole thing. So yeah, we try not to do it if we don't have to.
So if we're an independent organization, does that mean we basically only have the resources that Nigel has had before us, and then like what we can scrounge up ourselves?
More or less. You can, of course, always appeal to other people for help. There's no rule against helping the hunters necessarily. We just can't, like, try to buy you and your favor and stuff like that. If there's anything you think the school could do for you to help you do your job, please let me know. That is, the hunters do important work.
Is there a way that the families are going to know that we're the new batch of hunters? And, like, not that we're just running around claiming that we have an amount of authority?
Well, the rings on your fingers are
Oh,
proof of your status as
Connor
hunters,
says-
of course.
Having forgotten about the ring he is wearing.
Yes, the rings on your fingers serve as proof, although Adva doesn't have one. I'll have somebody craft a ring for you, so do not worry about it. It may not be as magical in nature, but those rings are a symbol of your status as hunters. So, should there ever be any sort of problem, most of the families know what the rings mean, essentially. So you shouldn't run into any problems with them. And anybody who doesn't know what it means will just think you have some cool jewelry.
They're gonna tell you you have a purity ring.
Is there anything else that I can sort of do for you?
Do we have an idea of what we're dealing with as far as
Currently,
the forest?
Currently, no. I know that Nigel has been looking into it, but my duties keep me from doing much investigating myself, and also I am not a hunter myself, so there's limited things I can do here. I have, of course, instructed campus security to keep people from going on Revelry Lane, as that is where the 2 girls from the other day disappeared from, as well as several other students. So we have blocked that off now that we know what is happening, to prevent further harm. I honestly, based on how these things have gone in the past, I fear that we may not see any of those missing return, but we can always hold out hope, so I have campus security doing their best.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Connor didn't, I'm Connor.
Connor
Wes,
refers to himself in the third person.
Wes, didn't you say that we needed a permission slip?
Yeah, to get
Oh.
be allowed into that area.
Right, yes, written permission. Here. And she begins filling out a piece of paperwork, and she hands it over to you. It basically says, like, that she, headmistress, name I forgot.
Permit Gabrielle.
Headmistress Diane Gabriel permits these 3 Adva Lusitana, Connor Caldwin, and West Wordsworth to go on to Revelry Lane. It doesn't say it in those words, because that sounds like dog shit, but, you know.
But one of those.
In fancy terms, it says you're allowed to pass.
Yeah.
You shall pass.
You shall pass. It's 3 big words on the piece of paper. No.
Let me in.
Yeah. She actually turns to you, Adva, and it's like, I actually have a question for you. And don't take this the wrong way, but, like, what power do you have?
It's a lot.
Yes, I can
Which is
tell.
like
I do sense a lot of holy energy coming from you. I don't.
Wes raises an eyebrow and turns toward her. Kind of.
Wait, you mean she's not one of you guys?
No, she's not. At least not the angels that are in town. She doesn't seem to be affiliated with them. It is a holy power of some sort. It does come from a god, but I'm not familiar with the sort of source of that power.
So wait, you're telling me there's more than one god?
There are many things that you do not know.
Telling me there is one at all? That blows my mind.
Where did you
Not
think
surprised
you
by
had you heard about
specific
angels yesterday? I don't know what you expected, sort of.
Yeah, Wes, kind of rude. Talking to an angel. Come on.
So,
My apologies.
what sort of powers have you exhibited thus far? How have your powers manifested?
question.
Well, I mean, the more obvious one also would just be like, you know, I can make a spear out of my binder clip.
Well,
I think that qualifies.
I can do this. She pops her binder clip off, and flips it open, and pulls up out the first fourth of the spear. Then puts it back in. Pulls out the first four, puts it back in, puts it back on her neck.
I see. So you have a holy weapon of some sort. Yes. I actually. Have you been able to do anything else that you know of?
Recently, no.
I sense
be aloof.
I sense there are more powers within you that you may not be quite aware of yet, but I'm sure should the situation arise, you'll be able to figure them out. There is one thing I can show you, though, right now. It actually seems to be tied to your earrings. Here. And she kind of, like, steps around the desk towards you, and she's like, if you had to guess, probably about, like, 7 feet tall.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Big girl.
Yeah, so she leans down and begins, like, poking at one of your earrings, and then she traces the outside of it with her finger, and as she does that, you see around you several triangular, like, translucent shapes begin to circle around you in an orbit. And she says, this is some sort of holy shield spell, it seems. So if you do this, you'll be able to prevent yourself from being attacked or protect yourself from some damage.
I see.
And then if she just traces it the other way, and the shapes like dissipate, and she's that, and you turn it off this way so that you're not just kind of doing that at all times. As I said, secrecy is of the utmost importance here.
She nods.
Very, very.
She's obviously thinking more than paying attention.
It's all very, very interesting. I will see. So she puts her hand back on the desk where you handed her the journal. I will look into this and see if there's anything further I can glean from it as to the whereabouts of your sister. And as for you, I will see if I can do some research and try to find out what kind of god or gods or goddesses or whatever that your holy powers come from. And then she turns to you, Connor, and she's like, "Could you just keep being cool?"
I think everyone knows what's coming. He finger guns.
Nice, she says. So
she does not finger gun back. Okay, good.
Yeah, she winks.
I'm surprised Adva didn't say "Okay, boomer."
To be honest, Gabrielle is not a boomer. She's too old.
So yeah, there's so do you have any further questions for me?
Where do we start?
That's sort of your purview, isn't it?
Yeah. It sure is.
Cool. Well,
all right. I turned to
bye.
the other two. Where do we start?
Probably by leaving.
Yeah. Let's go.
Catch you on the flippity flop. Connor walks out the door.
Of course, if you ever need any help, my doors are always open, except when they're locked when I'm not here.
Say it's closed when we got here.
Connor is outside of the office.
I mean, I guess I'm following Connor out the door.
Before I leave, I look at the journal again and I just ask, "Can you please be careful with it? It's all I've really got."
Of course, I will take the utmost care with your possessions.
Thank you. And then he leaves.
Okay. As you close the door behind you, you glance at your phones or clock or something, and you realize you all have classes in separate locations. So as you split up
Scatter.
and as you scatter away from the central tower into the kind of courtyard that surrounds it, you glance up at the sky, and you see that it's turning gray. It looks like rain might be coming in.
Nice.
So, yeah, that happens. So the rest of your day, kind of, then your next couple classes keep you busy for a little bit. And later on in the day, Adva and Connor, you walk out of the same class, and you see a... What class do you share? That's fun. Let's do that.
Microeconomics.
So what was the question?
What class do you share?
Oh boy, what would we share?
Well,
we know what Josh is majoring in. We know what Josh is majoring in. It's probably Gen Ed that we share, right?
Yeah, we're both sophomores. So it could be like an English class or a math class. It could be.
I'm gonna say history would probably be Minnesota history.
I doubt it's a Minnesota history specifically.
Hodag history.
So
No.
you can do the contemporary American history.
Sure. You both walk out of your contemporary American history class, and you see a handsome looking young man putting up posters on a wall directly across from the classroom.
It's rad.
It's
What's
not
on
rad.
the poster?
What is on the poster?
It's a picture of another man who, by the caption underneath it, you could tell his name is Jacob Barclay. And there's also a big, at the top of the poster, there's the big word missing, which is probably the most pertinent piece of information there.
Oh.
West, you're not here. I should mention that.
No, I know.
I'll approach the guy putting up the posters.
I also approach, but I'm more interested in looking at the posters than the man.
Cool. So as you walk up to this,
incredibly handsome.
he is incredibly handsome. He's a good-looking, muscular kid. He has crisp blonde hair and blue eyes, and he's wearing a Letterman's jacket for MU.
Oh boy, I hate this person.
He's a jock.
Have some sympathy.
No.
Okay, so as you walk up, he finishes hanging the poster that he's currently taping to the wall, and he turns around and is like, "Oh, have you seen anything? Have you seen Jacob? Have you seen my friend?"
No, what happened? What did he go missing recently?
Yeah, he did go missing recently. I don't know. It's weird, and I haven't seen him in a while, and I'm kind of. He seems like he's being kind of cagey.
So he's not telling us a lot.
Yeah. Perhaps there's something you could do. Perhaps there's something you could do to cause a roll here.
There'd be some sort of way you need to manipulate someone, I would assume.
Perhaps, unless you could think of a reason why it's something else.
I mean, I'll take a crack at manipulate.
All right, what are you doing to manipulate him? Like, what do you say?
I'll be like, I'll say, look, unless you're gonna give us more information, we're not gonna be able to fully keep an eye out or understand what's going on here.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Go ahead and
then
you
roll my charm. -2 go.
Oof. Oh. Oofa doofa.
Oh. You anti-charm him. He hates you now.
So let me look up the rules for failure on that. Jesus Christ.
2 + 1 - 2.
That's
incredible failure.
So mark experience, first of all.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
You finally failed. So if you fail, that means I get to make a hard move against you. I don't know what it's going to be in this situation, though. He seems like, you know what? I don't know why I'm talking to you guys. You don't seem like you would know anything useful. And he starts to walk away.
Okay, I'm still looking at the poster.
Cabadon.
Is there anything else on this poster other than just a picture?
Why don't you roll to investigate a mystery?
Time to investigate.
Because you were investigating, and there's a mystery. Yes.
Is that sharp?
Wait, okay. No, I don't know.
Yeah, it's almost.
Investigate a mystery is sharp.
I figured it was.
7.
That's
so 7 is a
partial success, I think.
believe that is a mixed success.
Yeah.
So on a mixed success, let me open my document here. On a mixed success for investigating a mystery, you hold 1. You can ask what happened here, what sort of creature is it, what can it do, what can hurt it, where did it go, what was it going to do, what is being concealed here. You may ask one of those questions.
I am going to say what is conceived, because if I asked what creature was here, you just tell me it's this guy.
That's kind of in relation to the monster, but you would have no way of gleaning that information from.
Yeah, I would have no way of knowing it, and you would have just burned my thing. Because I know you.
What is being concealed here? So as he starts to walk, as the guy starts to walk away, he kind of turns and sees that you're kind of like eyeing this poster really closely. And you see that he was walking down Revel, or this wouldn't be in the poster. It says he was last seen around Revelry Lane.
Well,
and as he turns back to you, he's like, "Are you what I?" And he starts to walk away again. He seems like unsure about whether or not he should even try this.
That he was last seen at that street.
He was last seen at Revelry Lane, which is the same place that is currently closed off.
Yeah. You know why, right?
Are you saying that to him?
Yes.
I thought it's like, of course Steven knows why.
What do you mean?
Wrote the mystery.
I wrote the mystery. I know exactly why.
I can't put it past them to forget what they wrote.
Fair.
Like,
so are you asking him apropos of nothing of you know why?
No, because I say
you know why, right?
I saying that like I said he was last seen at this street that's on here. And he says, and he's like,
and so you're gonna like ask him questions about
you're
gonna try to like grill him about this.
I'm going to grill him alive.
Sure. So why don't you roll manipulate someone?
And that would
that'd be plus charm unless you have a thing that's different that tells you a different thing.
I don't think I do.
Okay, that's a 7. So on a 7 for manipulate someone, they'll do it, but only if you do something for them right now to show that you mean it. If you ask too much, they'll tell you what, if anything, it would take for them to do it. So he kind of like walks up closer to the two of you, and seems like he's still kind of cagey about Connor, but he leans into you and she's like, "Okay, I can let you know, but you have to promise to keep it a secret, okay?"
Yeah, sure.
That's a little non-committal, but I guess I take it.
I do like a head jerk thing. It's like
Are you trying to get Connor to leave?
No, I just like saying come closer, so it's less likely that someone.
Okay.
Too bad Connor's here.
This is my pocket, Connor. It doesn't go away.
Okay, so he says to you, I was out walking with Jacob the other night after wrestling practice, and I was listening to music, so I didn't really hear what was going on, but I turned around and I saw Jacob just walk straight into the woods, and I couldn't I don't know, I got a little freaked out, and I couldn't find him the next day, and yesterday I started to get worried because he still wasn't back, so I went looking for him, but I didn't. Now it seems like he's running up against something again, so if you want to try to coax, I won't make you roll for it, but if you want to try to coax more information out of him.
So he's like, oh, okay, so you walked off into the woods.
Actually, you know what? I'll use your what is being concealed here roll from earlier. I'll use that for this. So he's like, so as you kind of like egg him on to give you more information, he's like, I saw, it looked like a girl in the woods that he was walking towards, and for some reason when I saw her, I just got real freaked out, man.
She does like a little bit of like an intake. It's not like a sharp intake, but it's like definitely a like a. Not vocal, but it's something he could hear.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, don't laugh. I got a little freaked out, man. It felt weird.
Okay. I get it.
Well, you know how the woods are at night. A lot of
Shut up, Connor.
weird stuff going on.
Yeah, lots of. Just if you see anything, just let me know, okay?
Yeah, you got it.
I just want to
Can
find
do, bud.
I just want to find my friend.
Like,
and
I
he extends a
how
hand.
much bigger-
He pointedly extends a hand to Adva and says, "My name is Chris Bevins."
Adva, she says, giving her hand and shaking it.
All right, so he shakes her hand.
And
like,
I'm Connor. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, and he walks away. Yep. So
I roll my eye.
that happened.
Well, if you'll remember, Adva, we have to not cue people into what they've seen. We want to gather the information, but shunt them away from the actual conclusion.
Sure. Foot McShooty.
All right. So
That was the weakest insult I've ever heard.
Scene end, I guess, unless you have anything else important you wanted to do.
I don't really think there's anything else we can do with that other than like take.
Other than
I'll
know
take
that
a picture of
information.
the poster.
Oh yeah, that's a good
actually,
idea.
yeah, I'll take a picture of the poster so I know what the kid I'm looking for looks like.
All right.
I'm sure I would just
So-
forget.
So that's fair. You know, that's a good idea. I'll give you props for that one. That doesn't affect you in any meaningful way, but I'll say
you
like
have
if you're
one
looking
bonus.
if you're looking for any more information about this kid in particular, I'll give you +1 forward because you have this picture of him.
Woo.
So if you ever are like rolling something about this dude, I'll give you a +1. So, West. The camera actually like. So the hypothetical camera that we would be watching this in if this were an animated cartoon show fades directly from the face of the poster of Jacob Barclay into the real face of Jacob Barclay as West is walking with his head down, coming from a class, and walks straight into a guy standing like in the middle of the path.
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay, man.
Why?
So this guy, he's a kind of like lanky kid. He's muscular, like you can tell, but he's kind of like, you know, he's got the long limbs. He's got short black hair and brown eyes, and he's also wearing a Letterman's jacket for MU. He's like, oh, don't worry about it, man.
Any reason you're standing here?
Oh, I was just looking, so I found something super cool, and I was looking for someone to tell about it.
West immediately is sus about this and is like, well, I'm someone.
Cool. It was actually just over here if you want to come take a look. It's a super cool thing, and I think you're going to love it. I'm Jacob, by the way. And he puts out his hand for a handshake. Everybody's very friendly here.
I'm West. I hold out my hand for a handshake.
You shake hands.
And shake hands.
You do it. You know what? It's done. So he starts walking towards the...
West has been bullied before, by the way, so he's kind of like wary.
He's got the
a few extra steps behind.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so he kind of starts leading you off into the woods, saying like, "Oh man, this thing is so cool. You're gonna fucking love it, dude."
How are we getting back there if it's blocked off?
Oh, I know a shortcut. Don't worry about it.
Okay. You know, I have a permission slip. We could just go the regular way.
Oh, what? Oh, that's cool, man. This way is quicker though, like, because you know how the path like wraps around the school basically. So like this will just go straight there. And he takes you over to the cool thing that I found.
West is now incredibly sus, but carries on like a wayward son.
Oh boy. Yeah. So he leads you to a like gap in the fence. It looks like it's been cut. The fence that like separates the hiking trail from like a short tree line and then the actual school campus itself. The fence looks like it's been cut, so he leads you through that. If that is not too suspicious.
By the way,
for you.
since I'm behind this guy, at this point, does West have reason to be sus, or am I just overplaying it?
I mean,
if somebody said this to me, I would feel weird about it. But like that's up to Wes, my dude.
If someone was like, "Hey, come check out this thing in the woods,"
where weird shit has been happening. Yeah, okay. So since
Even
I'm
just the
behind
woods?
him, can I go ahead and just like have a weapon ready behind my back?
If you want,
Yeah.
you could do any number of things without him noticing, probably.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I have a blessed knife, so I'm just gonna like have that kind of tucked behind my back a little bit.
Okay.
And just keep following him.
All right. So yeah, he leads you out into the woods, and it's actually like takes a little bit to get there, but as you clear a clearing, you know, as you clear the tree line into a clearing, you actually see like a lake, and the lake has a like singular pine tree right in the middle of it, basically. There's a very small island with what looks like a bench on it, and right next to that is a fucking super tall pine tree, just solo on that island. But there's a good amount of lake between you and there. And Jacob turns to you and says, "It's right over there in the water. If you want to like take a look, it's super rad, I promise."
I really hope it's not rad.
Do you want to show
it
me?
is rad.
It's actually rad.
I can't believe
Rad
it.
he actually starts walking towards you.
Listen.
Would you
No,
hey Swissy, would you like to read a bad situation, perhaps?
I sure as hell would, bud.
Roll plus sharp.
Alright, hang on.
Unless you have a thing that makes that a different stat.
Nah.
I'm just jotting into
His things make things sharp, if anything.
Yeah.
I don't have any forward, do I? Do I have any forward since I prepared? Things?
You would have... I think you would have forward
I guess that's
for...
something you would have told me.
Yeah. I know you have the knife
Okay,
prepared, so I guess read a bad situation would be if you're going to jump this fool, I would give you forward.
Okay, but I'm not. I'm just kind of reading the situation right
Yeah.
now. Right. Okay, so I'll just roll as standard. Okay.
That is 11 sharp, so on a 10 plus, you hold 3. So you can ask any of the following questions. What's my best way in? What's my best way out? Are there any dangers we haven't noticed? What's the biggest threat? What's most vulnerable to me? What's the best way to protect the victims? And if you act on the answers, you get +1 ongoing while the information is relevant.
Okay. Shit, I really wish I had those documents open right now so I could read those again.
So yeah, what's my best way in? What's my best way out? Are there any dangers we haven't noticed yet? What's the biggest threat? What's most vulnerable to me? What's the best way to protect the victims?
Dangers I haven't noticed, biggest threat, way out. Those would be the 3 I would go for if I'm holding 3.
Okay. Let's go. So I'll answer those in order. Are there?
Okay.
I'll start with 1, and then your questions may change depending on what I tell you. So let's do that.
Right.
So are there any dangers you haven't noticed? You do see the big danger heading towards you, which is this guy who has like a weird like vacant look on his face, and he's not the same as like the zombies you fought the other day. He's not like he looks like he's a guy basically. He's not like he doesn't look like he's dead and like animated walking around. He just kind of has like a glazed over look to him. As for dangers you haven't noticed, you see some like ripples in the lake, a little bit offshore at a depth that would be just high enough to hide something man-sized, perhaps.
I see.
So that is, are there any dangers you haven't noticed yet? That would be the things you had not noticed, is that there are ripples in the lake that are out of the depth that could hide something.
And I think it's obvious that Jacob is the biggest threat, so I don't think I need to go through with asking that one.
Probably not.
At this moment, he's the biggest threat.
Right.
Fuck, man. What's the best way out?
The best way out would be to book into the woods in any direction. You feel like you would probably have a decent chance of, if not outrunning this guy, then at least hiding somewhere in the woods. The problem with that would be that you're not super familiar with the area. You have no idea where you are, because you have a shit phone, and you are on your own here. So your best way out would be to fucking book.
I'm gonna do that.
You still have one more question, are you sure?
Can you give them to me one more time?
What's my best way in? What's the biggest threat? What's most vulnerable to me? What's the best way to protect the victims? That one's kind of vague.
That last one wouldn't make sense. Yeah.
The victim is you in this circumstance, so I think you've got a pretty good idea of what you should do.
Yeah. Just in case, I'm gonna ask a weird one. What's the best way in?
Best way in. I see.
Okay.
So, you see on the leading to this on the opposite side of this lake, there is it looks like a kind of like bridge made out of stone or something that leads to that center island where the tree is and the bench. If you were going to get like as into this situation as possible, that would be the best way to do it. Would be to circle around to the other side of the lake and then move to the island in the center, across the stone bridge.
But that wouldn't be very smart.
You are putting yourself.
You can do whatever you want, but you are alone and have not told your friends where you are.
Yeah. I'm not. Wes isn't looking to die on his first day on the job, so
yeah.
He
good choice.
He fucking books it.
Okay. As you start to run away, Jacob notices that you have started to run away, and he starts to chase off after you. So I will say act under pressure. That's plus cool, and also you have +1 forward because you were acting on this information.
I'm gonna roll sharp instead of cool because that's what I do when I act under pressure.
Yeah, and you have +1 to this as well.
Oh, so
because you were acting on your read a bad situation answers.
Cool. So
the information is still relevant.
Yes.
Cool.
A 14. Jesus Christ. Okay, so on
I'm already home.
Okay, so when you act under pressure, roll plus cool, which you did. On a 10+, you set out to do. On a 12+, you may choose to either do what you wanted and add something extra, or to do what you wanted to absolute perfection.
I want to do what I wanted to absolute perfection.
Okay, you managed. So what were you intending to do? Were you trying to get away, or were you trying to hide?
I want to get at least to somewhere with reception. So I'm probably holding my phone out, checking, you know?
Yeah. So as
that
you...
would be what I want to do.
Okay. I will say you do that. You book into the woods and you manage to dodge around enough foliage that Jacob is kind of having a hard time finding you. And at this point, the clouds have started to really start to come over, so it's getting kind of dark. It's only maybe 5 or 6 p.m., but it's with the cloud cover, it's starting to get dark. So you are looking at your phone screen, holding it up in the air as high as possible, while also hauling absolute ass to get away from this dude.
Yeah.
And you manage to, you come to a small clearing, and you have bars.
Oh boy.
You don't
my
hear.
Phone can't do group chat. Shit. I really need to upgrade, man.
You do hear Jacob calling out for. Did you give him your name? I don't remember.
I don't think.
I said I'm Wes.
Okay, yeah. So he's calling out, West, buddy, come on! I gotta show you this thing at the lake. But he's a distance off. It doesn't sound like he's getting closer to you.
That's good.
So you've got some time to figure something out.
Shit. Connor is probably the most reliable in my mind. Wait, maybe. Shit, nobody's reliable. Everybody's weird.
Excuse you.
No, you're right.
So, from a monster and holy sense, that's all weird. But you know what? He's in a pinch. So he
You up?
Adva can run faster, so he's gonna call Adva.
Okay. As you two are probably looking around trying to find West because you haven't been able to find him. Adva, you get a call on your phone and it's West.
Ring, Progresso. Hello?
Guy named Jacob in the woods. Help.
Where in the woods?
You have absolutely no idea.
Shit.
Hey,
I
let me check something real quick.
I start making my way at least towards woods.
Let me check something real quick. You have a move. You have a move for this.
Do I?
Yes.
Oh right, yeah.
Oh, you can teleport.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and use angel wings.
So this would be, I think, a thing stressful enough for you to try this.
Okay.
So this power just like unlocks. So you can go to a place anywhere you have been before, or to a person you know well. So West would qualify.
So roll
when you carry one or two people with you, roll plus weird.
Okay, I'm going to try to take Connor with me.
Okay.
Oh, I mean,
like telling him anything, because that's hilarious.
Well, I mean, I don't know I can do this either.
Adva grabs your wrist and starts walking towards the woods.
Yeah. So
okay.
I'm gonna roll weird.
Do it.
No. Would this be a +4 because of the other thing?
Yeah, I think since he gave you the information about Jacob, I think you get one. You're forward for this because you're acting on that. 7. Is that +1? I mean, it doesn't matter.
That was with the +1, yeah.
Okay. So on a 7 to 9, you don't quite manage it. Either you all appear in the wrong place or you are separated. So
I'm gonna say separated.
I have a choice. I don't think you do, but I think that's also more interesting. So you are just in the woods now, and Connor, you are also now in the woods. Connor, you actually appear like just on the other side of this. It's a pretty large clearing, but you appear on like the other side of this clearing from where West is, and you can like see him like panickedly talking into his phone because Adva didn't say anything when she did this. Adva, you appear like in a tree, like slightly up a tree. You could easily get down, but as you like look, as you look around trying to get your bearings, you see Jacob like at the base of this tree, looking around and shouting, "West, come on, man! I really want to show you what's at the lake."
So okay, so before this, I need to ask,
sure,
what does the teleport look like to me and Connor?
Okay, so I think.
Full on Dragon Ball Z instant transmission.
What I kind of imagined was, since a lot of your powers are kind of based on the like the triad stuff, like like some sort of like triangular sigil appears at your feet, and you just like warp from that. So it's like a flash of light.
Okay, so everything gets bright and suddenly tree.
Suddenly
also,
you are.
I'm not holding Connor.
Yes, and Connor is somewhere.
Yeah, and I have no idea what the hell's happening.
Connor actually
answered her phone, grabbed me, and now I'm in. There's trees, and West is over there looking scared.
So yeah, you may
mostly out of breath.
Yeah. So yeah, you are now in this tree. Jacob is beneath you. You do recognize him because of your.
Okay.
You just took that picture.
I'm going to.
And Connor and West are somewhere else.
Is it okay for me to assume that he's enthralled or whatever?
You
can assume whatever you want.
I mean, you don't. I guess you could assume that based on what you saw with the zombies, but this, like, you don't have the information that West has, and to West, this seemed different.
Yeah.
So you may not want to kill because like the zombie dudes, they didn't talk.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't gonna kill.
Yeah, I don't suggest murking this dude, but like you can do what you want.
I can't be a murder hobo in college.
I wouldn't recommend it. It would be a weird tone to take.
And he has not noticed me being tree now.
Not yet.
Correct. I'm going to remain up here and watch. I'm going to take in my surroundings and the state of the man.
Okay, I would say this would be a. I could see it being act under pressure because you're trying to remain stealthy, but I think read a bad situation is probably. Or perhaps investigate. I would say either read a bad situation or investigate a mystery would make them. Well, no, because you're not like actively looking at stuff. I would say read a bad situation because you are in one.
What is read a bad situation? Which one is that?
That's the one where you can ask questions.
I meant what stat?
Oh, sharp.
Do I have to roll?
Sharp.
Oh, it's sharp.
No, and nothing. Let's go.
7. So on a 7 to 9, hold 1.
I have only rolled.
You've only rolled 7s.
I rolled
Holy
a 10
shit.
earlier. I've rolled 4 7s.
It's incredible.
Limit break.
So on a 7, you hold 1. What's my best way in? What's my best way out? Are there any dangers we haven't noticed? What's the biggest threat? What's most vulnerable to me? What's the best way to protect the victims?
What is most vulnerable to me?
Currently,
This tree.
I would say, actually, yeah, you notice there's some, like, loose hanging branches pretty much directly over where, what is his name, Jacob is standing. And if you were to strike that with your trident, you could probably get it to fall down and trap him.
Right. Okay, so I'm gonna keep that in mind and keep my eye on this Jacob.
Okay, I mean, like, he might move, is the thing.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware, but I want to make sure I'm not just trapping a dude.
Okay, your phone is still on, also. So, like, West, you hear some, like, magic noises, and then, like, the rustling of leaves. And then, you also see Connor, like, drop onto the other... Oh, that's a good point. You probably don't.
Connor's dropped and has just been standing there, man.
Yeah, so this is kind of... We're kind of in bullet time right now, so, like...
Bullet time.
West, you see Connor at the other side of this platform just, like, drop out of the air. About, like, 3 feet up, maybe.
West assumes it had something to do with Adva based on the phone call, and then, like, you know...
And, yeah, you're sick...
over to Connor.
The call drops, also. The call goes dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I put away my phone, and I jog out of breath over to Connor. There's a guy in a Letterman's jacket who brought me into the woods. Said he wanted to show me a thing, and I was super sus about it, and here I am. Guess that's what I get for talking to strangers.
Was his name Jacob?
Yeah. Why? Wait, what? How did you know that? I called Adva.
Well, I was standing next to Adva. We just finished talking to Jacob's friend. He was putting up posters. He said Jacob wandered into the woods and went missing, like, some time back.
Yeah, this guy had like a 1,000-yard stare, I'm not gonna lie.
Do you know where he is now?
You can still hear him shouting.
Yeah, I can hear. Well, I'll assume Connor can hear him too then.
Yeah.
I'll just say like
right as you say where do you know where he is, you hear another like, "Come on, West, I just want to show you the thing." He sounds like he's getting more agitated.
All right. I try to hang back a step or two. Connor starts running towards the shouting.
Okay. As you start to head that way, and Adva waits up in the tree, you all hear, as you all start to try to converge on this singular dude, you hear a clap of thunder. And you see a flash in the sky, and it looks like a storm is about to break. And I think that is where we will end for today. Because we are 3 minutes from the end of the stream. So that's fun. That was fun. That was a good time. Boy, everybody.
West is in danger of dying from running so much.
I'm in danger. I was gonna be like, how are we gonna find West? And then I was like, and then Steve was like, well, you do have that thing that just teleports you directly to West.
I was hoping you would do that, and I was also hoping Swissy would remember he has a fucking phone.
Yeah, I did. Don't worry.
I had to. I was doing a lot of guest work for that, but yeah. So yeah, that was fun.
I mean, calling Adva was a total fluke. I was gonna call Connor, and then I was like, I haven't called Adva yet. I might as well call Adva. Make her.
What a strange thing to think. You know, I don't know for sure if this number even works. I'll call this one in the emergency.
That's true.
She could have given me a fake number.
But my thought was she's an athlete, so she can probably book it here faster.
Okay, so I'm gonna.
You called a sex lie.
But I'm literally a vampire.
Shit, you know what? Wes didn't think about that because this is all new to him. Okay.
Fair. So on, let's do our end of session experience real quick. So did you conclude the current mystery? No.
Nope.
Did you save someone from a certain death or worse? I could see the I could see the argument that Wes was saved from probably dying.
Okay.
Did you learn something new and important about the world? I'm gonna go yes. Did we learn something new and important?
An experience for that?
No, it's so
at the end.
So we've got 2 yeses so far. And did we learn something new and important about one of the hunters?
I can teleport apparently.
Adva can apparently teleport.
Adva and West.
And West has a sister that you know about now, that he's mentioned in front of you. So yeah.
Also, Josh gets 1 because he rolled a 1.
Yeah, I assume he already
that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for 3 to 4 yeses, you mark 2 experience. So have any of you leveled up yet?
That would give me at 5.
Yes.
Okay, so I think you all leveled up.
Exactly
now.
at 5.
Cool. So when you take a level, let me see. I don't remember exactly how that works. So I'm going to try to find it real quick.
So I assume that just puts us back to 0. Well,
yeah, it puts you back to 0, and you get to take something for leveling up. I just don't remember what it is.
An improvement from the bottom.
Yeah, you choose an improvement. It's at the bottom of the sheet.
Okay.
What's your 5 experience? So then I'd be back to 1s, and because of my sweet failed roll.
Yes.
Yeah, you had 1 more than us.
Yeah,
it was pretty lit.
For failed rolls, it's for a total failure, not just because one of your dice was 1, right?
Yeah, it's when you roll a 6 or lower is when you have failed.
Okay.
When you fill all 5 experience points, you level up, erase the marks, and pick an improvement from the following list. Yeah, so
because I did get a crit fail on one of my die, but I got a 6 on the other one.
Yeah, it's the total roll.
I got a 5 in it, +1.
So it's in the first set of blocks, because then the second one is once you have 5 improvements, you can just retire.
Yeah, you can just decide that you don't want to be in the you can just decide to be a different character.
Nice.
So, why don't you tell me which improvements you're taking, guys? Okay. We'll start with the divine because it's the first one in the book.
Okay.
So improvements.
I'm looking at my moves quick.
Gain a lesser divine being as an ally is pretty wild.
I was considering doing that, but I kind of want to.
I don't know what that would even. Yeah, I don't even know what that would fucking be at this point.
Well, I think we'll hold off on that one and go over that off stream at some point because I do want to do that. At some point.
I do think that would be cool, but it would be a wild thing to happen in chapter fucking 1.
Yeah. Let me just unveil all my powers in this one arc. I can teleport. I've got a friend. I can banish Josh at any time.
You know, I forgot about that one, I'll be honest. It hasn't come up yet.
I've not had to cast out evil, and I also can just, store things in the space dimension and pull them out whenever I want them. I'm really strong.
Okay, so, I guess you're still looking, then?
Yeah, I know. I think I know what I'm doing. So
Okay.
I'm going to take another divine move. I am going to take Smite, the MOBA. Your body and divine weapons always count as a weakness against monsters you fight. Your unarmed attacks are 2 harm, intimate, and messy.
Cool. So your spear is basically always good against the monsters you fight.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. The expert is the next one down. What have you chosen for your improvement, West?
Oh no, that's me. Let me take a look here.
Add an option to your Haven would be a little weird, I'll be honest. At least right now.
Yeah, narratively speaking, for now, yeah, that'd be weird. I wasn't gonna do that one because of that.
I think that's something we could probably do between mysteries, but right this second would be a weird one.
Yeah, it'd be really weird. I am going to add. So what does it mean when it says +1 thing max plus whatever?
It means your stat goes up by 1. You just can't have over
a
plus.
I can only have it a max.
Yes.
You can only upgrade it twice, I think.
Okay, I see.
Or that means you can only have plus.
It means you can only. It means that is the maximum number you can have in that state. So this is a game where 1 or 2 will be the difference between life and death. They can't give you +5s.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm gonna bring my sharp to max then. I'll do that.
All right. So Wes is taking +1 sharp, and I scroll down a lot to reach the monstrous. Oh, it wasn't actually that far. Cool. What are you taking?
Now I will be super awesome when acting under pressure and other sharp-related activities.
What would you like to take, Connor?
So you went to +3 sharp?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
That makes sense
So
for West, because West rolls a lot of sharp things.
I cannot gain cool, because I'm already at the max of 2. So that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I choose to gain a haven like the X-Men.
Why?
No, I'm kidding.
I mean,
because it'd be really...
I think that could work, and your haven would probably just be like a room at your
mansion.
house or something.
Yeah, but I don't want that.
Fair.
I was just trying to be
See,
the confusing part is I have the option to take a move from another playbook.
Yeah, so did
do
West,
I.
actually. I think everyone does.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
So if that's something you want to look
Yeah,
into,
no.
you can think about it, and we can,
Yeah, I think I'll have to look at these.
Okay.
It's either that or I'll either do that or pick just a new monstrous move, I think.
All right. Flight would be pretty cool.
I was thinking flight. I was looking at flight, and I was like, it
What's
would
that
be
do?
fun to just I can fly.
That's right.
Especially if it's I can fly suddenly.
You
Maybe you
just
learn to do it
can fly.
I'm sure there's a story beat where you could like realize for the first time that you do it.
It could be coming up very quickly.
Dracula wings.
Yeah.
So I guess Josh wants to look and just to double check that
You
you
could
can-
also straight up become incorporeal.
That'd be rad. Then you wouldn't be able to shoot yourself in the goddamn foot.
What
I
if I
don't-
banish you while you're incorporeal?
I mean, I think the banishment still takes.
I
effect.
think it would be the same.
Yeah, we can talk about some of this stuff otherwise if you're not 100% sure. If you want to look at some other stuff.
Yeah, I'm not sure yet.
Okay. So yeah, that's
Actually,
gonna.
because I do want to look through others' playbooks, I'm gonna undo mine because I didn't notice that option.
Ah. Okay.
So,
yeah.
I'll
So
think about
we'll
mine
just
too.
do that. So next time, we will be doing Final Fantasy tomorrow, and next week we'll be doing Maplebrook again to get us right back onto the back on the regular schedule. But yeah, that's gonna do it for us. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you tomorrow for Final Fantasy, where there may be fire of some kind.
Actually, Ninja, real
Yeah.
quick, while we're
Yep.
still live,
Okay.
if we do Maplebrook next week and then set it back to bi-weekly, it's gonna hit another TNT at the end of the month anyway.
Well, maybe we can listen.
Just thought I'd throw that one out there.
Well, maybe we just do it 3 times in a row.
Oh, hell yeah.
Not me.
But we did actually miss one, so I think it would make sense to do another one. So, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
All right, yeah. Let's have a good night, everybody. Bye.